Hello YouTube. I am going to attempt to change the diff fluid and this Fortec 2.0 with Castle Creations 3800 kV motor I put in last week. I got the Castle link. I did some mods. I need to get the Y adapter, otherwise you got to take the cover off the ESC every time. So I'm just going to run a wire out there. But today's video, I never took one apart. I could find gearing change, but I couldn't find a video to change the diff fluid. Mine is actually leaking a little bit. It's been leaking since day one. I don't know if it's a bearing or a seal, but I'm gonna go ahead with this part. I believe it's 100K weight. I'm not sure what comes in them, but I don't know if this one's dry because it's been leaking for quite some time. So, let's use my teeth. My knife is not close to me. So, I'm gonna try to do this on camera. So it goes on the cover. They give you a little nipple, which I would imagine you gotta clip the end off of it. I actually have a pair of dikes right here. I'm gonna clip that off. That just went flying. Let's set that down off camera. All right, here we go. This size, I recommend picking up one of these kits. It's a dynamite set. It's like $29. It's really, the thing's lasted me over like 3 years without stripping out any of the heads. Some of them are pretty worn, but for the money, you get pretty much everything you need to work on. Everything but the X-Max. But the only thing that you need out of the X-Max would be the tire lock nut, and the X-Max comes with it. So I think you can actually use this for the X-Max too. So take this sucker out, and I believe it is the size, which is H 2.5, H 4.0. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's the size. So I'm just gonna start taking some apart here. I got a little magnetic tray. Everybody should have one of these suckers. They're great. You can magnetize your tips on the bottom if you need to. I also have a magnet in here. You just give it a little rub for like 20 seconds, and it actually magnetizes your tip. So I believe this, it's like a cross member assembly, has to come off. And looks like I grabbed the wrong size. So I am going to look into the kit. This is too small. This is for the pinion gear. It is this size. Not that good at editing. I would fast forward these slow, tedious parts if I could. It takes more time to edit though than anything, man. So if you want to fast forward now, just go ahead and fast forward. But it really takes a long time to edit, whether you're using YouTube software, I have a MacBook, an iMovie. It just takes so long to edit a video. So you take these out. I've been throwing them in the magnetic tray, which is awesome. Get them at Lowe's, Home Depot, online, Amazon. I don't even know where I got that one. I got 2 of them. Take these screws out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna do the front diff first since that's the leaky one. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to do the back. So take that out, set that aside. I believe these links have to come off at least at the diff section. Hope I'm getting this on camera. I'm gonna wash washer, so put that on a separate side of the magnet. The magnet's awesome, man. It just holds everything right where you need it. Take the other one off. It looks like I'm gonna have to remove the shock tower assembly. Yeah, that's still mounted on there pretty good. So feels like 2 screws up front. Are they different size or am I just spazzing out? Nope, same size. Love Traxxas, man. Most of the parts are all the same. I find Traxxas very easy to work on. My first RC was, I think, Blackfoot. I think it's Tamiya Blackfoot. It was the Tamiya Blackfoot. It was like hard to work on, man. As a kid, the hobby shop, I always had to take my bicycle and ride up to it. But I just mostly order everything off of Amazon or RC Planet. Amazon's the quickest. Usually get stuff. I have Prime, so I get it in 2 days. That's awesome. Yeah, baby. It's loose. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the top of the differential on. I'm using the magnetic tray to keep all my stuff separate. I see a lot of guys using drills for this. I don't have a drill that is capable of a torque setting that you do not want to strip these guys out, because I don't know. I've gotten Traxxas cars that they've been stripped from the factory, and when I go to put them back in, I usually just throw a little blue Loctite on them. Like the X-Max we just bought, I went to take off the ESC or the transmitter cover, and one of the screws is stripped. I was tightening it. You know, I know how, if you worked on cars, you know not to over tighten them. It didn't even start to tighten up. So I just threw some blue Loctite on it. But I do want to keep that watertight because obvious reasons. So I'm gonna gently wiggle this guy. Up, I see one more screw up front. And can I get that? Yes. I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn down, I got a movie playing. Didn't even realize. You guys probably like, this guy's like, he's playing, what's that noise in the background? So we take off this one. Hopefully these are all the same size. This is a little bit shorter. I'm gonna have to remember that it's definitely, they're not all the same size. Pull this guy off, hold down this axle. Feeling like there's one more screw somewhere, but I don't know where it is, man. Came off. And everything kind of moved around here. Oh, I just lifted up the front wheel. The left axle came out, but it's looking pretty dry in there. Let's see if I can get a better light on that. Yeah, there's not a, I don't know if it's supposed to be a certain amount of fluid in there. Everything looks good. The teeth, the mesh, there's no rounding of anything on there. So I'm just gonna add some fluid to that. I'm gonna say it'd be, you would do it like a truck. You know, if you had a pickup truck or anything with a rear axle, you know, there's a fill level on it, obviously. And I'm just gonna fill it halfway with this 100 weight Traxxas oil, if I can get this bag open. You know what? I'm not gonna use this bag again, so I'm just gonna rip it. And take off the cover. It's got a nice little, like a toothpaste style. Oh, it's pretty thick. You can see the viscosity of it. And put in this, which doesn't seem to want to really go in there, but I think it's because it's so full. There we go. And then I did not pierce a hole when I cut off that nipple. So I'm hope this doesn't shoot out. I'm gonna go back a little ways. Oh, yeah, bang, right across the room. I see a little hole in there now. I'm gonna go ahead and fill some of this up. Wow, that's really thick stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna actually fill this. I thought this stuff would be much more watery. I'm gonna actually cut more off of this tip. It's a small hole, it's probably the size of a needle. I'm gonna go back here. I just shot across the room. I gotta get that before the dog eats it. And out it comes. This is 100 weight, if you ever wanna know what it looks like. Squirt, 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 squirt. I'm not gonna fill it halfway because I don't think I'm gonna have enough in this bottle. And you can hear those air bubbles coming out. Checking the camera, see if this is coming out. Yeah, you can see it on camera. But this thing is pretty dry. There wasn't even a drop on the bottom. We'll call it a sump pan. And I'm gonna give it a little spin if I can. Actually, both. One axle fell out, but I'm gonna give this a spin. Since it's all-wheel drive, I gotta look at the back tires. I got a decent amount in there. I would imagine it's gonna open up and spray out on everything. So I'm gonna call that good. I don't know how many drops I put in there exactly. I couldn't tell you. But put this axle back in there. Give it a little rotation so it lines up. Slide that back in, and when I'm done with these RC cars, I always give it some WD-40 or just something in the bearings because I do use an air compressor. Hope you get a shot of that. Pretty well lubricated. Definitely, I thought I would fill it halfway, but I think that's overkill. I think they would have given me more on the tube if they wanted you to fill it up that high. Oh, and my dang axle fell out again. Well, actually, both of them fell out again. But give the tire a spin. Pull this on. Give this tire, back it out. Push it back in. Move this back. And what was the next step? This is a little bit funky inside. A little bit of gear. Looks like a little bit of metal. I do not have a paper towel. Excuse me. I'll be back. Promise. I'm back. I'm gonna wipe this out a little bit in here. That funky that was in there. That's pretty dark. That's shavings of metal for sure. Clean out the bearing carriers. Bearings look great. I don't know if you can see them on camera, but they look fine. This is very low hours or miles, however you want to say it, on this sucker. Just recently took out the brushed motor and put this in. Oh, I just lost a big bearing. This main bearing here just fell out on me. Probably not doing this in the right order, but I couldn't find anything on YouTube that gave me a how-to on how to do this. So I'm going on the fly. Hopefully this helps somebody else. Slide this back on. That just clipped in. Give my fingers a wipe. That's the side for the big bearing. I'll put this back in there, hopefully. Doesn't seem to want to go in easily. I don't know if it's made to clip in the front first or the back first or what first. All right, big bearing in the back. I might have to cut this video short. I'm watching my nephew and my son. They're upstairs on the computer. I'm gonna get them out and get them on a test drive on this thing. Oh man, it doesn't feel like it wants to go back together. What is is resisting me. There's like resistance on the front. Was it under that? I think it was, that's why. I think it's got to go under this bumper. This was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. That spur gear is actually rubbing on that, and my axle fell out again. I probably should have taken a little more apart to get to this. So you know what? I'm gonna take these off and take this foam bumper out of the way, because I think that's blocking me. That's blocking me from putting that cover back on. It wasn't bone dry in there, but it was definitely a little wet. Just a little bit. I mean, like I said, this thing's leaking. There we go. Look at that little slime line. Pull this back. Drop this on. Oh, there we go. Bang. I gotta remember which screws go where, because I was doing this so dang fast. I wasn't paying attention. But I believe I can put this back on now. So we'll start with these two screws and do the process of elimination. I definitely didn't take the time. See, and magnetized this. So these screws go in here. So if you're doing this video, you want to take this foam bumper off.
Be downstairs.
My son's coming downstairs, so it's gonna get a little noisy. So this is back on. Snug that up, a little snug, and snug. All right, and I believe these screws kind of went a little crazy in here, but I'm gonna check and make sure, see which ones are equal length. One is shorter. I believe the shorter one went up near the front of the car, right there. So I'm gonna put that back in there. And if it bottoms out, okay, so that's one screw down. We got some more screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. The brace mounts are right there. I know which screws those are. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a lot of screws extra in this, some short and long, so I definitely should have taken better notes on what was what. I'm kicking myself right now. I'm staring at this, saying, where did these all go? Anyway, let's keep going. These 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would imagine are equal length. So I'm looking for 4 equal lengths right now. And I'm gonna say it's these bad boys. And if I feel like I'm bottoming out, I'm going to stop. That felt good. That felt good. And 2 more for the front. Hopefully I'm getting this on camera. The mount that I have for the camera that's holding it steady is not holding. I have the element case that's made out of aluminum, and G10 glass is very heavy, and it just wants to hold the camera down on the cheap tripod that I have it on right now. So that's going back on. This one, there we go, tightening up. And so we should have two of the same screws for the front shock tower, and it should be these guys. like I said, when you do this, I'd lay down a piece of paper. Maybe not use the magnet because they all kind of got shuffled in the mix. Oh crap, one of my axles is out, but I should be able to pop it back in easy. Yeah. I was tightening this one. I can't see the way I have the light angle, and I'm sure you can't see either. So I'm gonna move this light again. So I'm on this guy. Tight. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend power tools for this. I mean, you can see it, these screwing pretty fast. And I'm gonna do the rear in a different video because we're probably close to 15 minutes. Anybody who's watching this is probably like, man, this is boring crap. Put this axle back in there. We got that guy. And that guy should be, trying to find two equal length screws. Magnets, shooting them around. And these are definitely not two equal length screws. So I hope it's these guys, but I had 5. No, that's 5. Dang. Anyway, I screwed up somewhere. One screw is slightly longer than the other. And one just went flying. There it is. Underneath the car. That's just to hold these on, so. I feel like this is going in sideways. Getting tighter, or my bottoming out. I think that was a too long of a screw. I think I screwed up, no pun intended. Back in the hole. Give the wheel a little lift so you're not cross-threading. And then I have 5 screws left. Yeah, that one tightened. The other one in here is too long. It is tight, but it's definitely in the wrong spot. And my camber looks like it is towed in now. I did something very wrong. What, I do not know yet. That's tight. Oh, because these probably go on here. That's why, dum-dum. You put them on the wrong spot, man. These go on here, big guy. Either way, these 2 screws, one is longer than the other. Man, that didn't tighten up too good either. And like I said, I'm not using power tools. Just a little wrench, but you really can't get too much torque on it, so. Magnetic, back on. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this video. It's kind of, but I'm trying to get it done fast. Normally I would take my time more. So the camber set right. Those other ones were for this bad boy, which just goes like that. And those are, I hope, all equal length. So that's 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So one screw I screwed up, and it is not in the right spot, because that's as tight as I make them, and I was able to strip one out, because it probably means the screw was too long and it bottomed out before it came through its fastener. Usually pretty anal about where I put stuff, but like I said, I was trying to rush to make this video because I didn't see one made. I saw one for the slash and everything, but I didn't see one for the 4-tech. Right now we're only able to go about 45 miles an hour. With this, it's like 45 flat on the GPS. And I think we could do better, even though it's a 3800 kV. I think with some different gearing, we can get a little faster. I'm not looking to do 70 or 80 or 100, but the 22 miles an hour that it comes with is pitiful, and that's basically it. That oil's changed, that grease has changed, oil, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of, feels like it was a synthetic. It almost is weird consistency. And I'm gonna do the back in another video. Anyway, thanks for watching. They both feel similar in resistance, but I'm just glad I got some grease back in there again. I mean, definitely I wouldn't fill it halfway. I think that would be overkill. I think you'd almost probably start locking the differential at that point, even with 100K weight. Anyway, that's it on this video. Hope you liked it. Hope it helped you out. And just take better placement of screws. I did mess up on one screw, and it's too long. So, which means one is too short somewhere. A lot of times, Traxxas, everything's the same length when you're working in that section. Everything, like all 4 will be the same. Maybe the 5th one will be different. These are all the same. Anyway, I'm gonna do a speed run later with this. I'm gonna try a different battery. And that's the end of the video on this. I'm gonna do the rear off camera, but the rear looks like it's basically the same thing. Shock tower is in the way. Probably gotta take the this bell housing cover off for the motor. But I was able to get 2 screws on the castle. It comes with 3, but I couldn't find a 3rd location. Was not possible without oblong one of the holes for this. So I got 2 screws, and it's very stable in there. And when the Traxxas motor's in there, it's only 2 screws anyway. And like I said, I'm not looking to get 100 miles out of this car, 100 miles an hour. 50's fine, man. It's fast enough. I don't want to wreck it. I'm not looking to set speed records. All right, man. Thanks for watching. If you could just give a like, smash that like button. You don't actually want to smash it. Just tap it. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Helps us out. Lets us know people are watching the videos. And I hope this video was able to help somebody. Thank you. Thanks for watching.